Thank you so much, choir. Welcome, everyone, to the Unitarian Church of Staten Island. We are grateful you are here. For those joining us online, it's wonderful that you are with us. For people who are here in person, thank you so much. Please wear your mask throughout the service and to maintain social distancing. During the service, as long as you are wearing masks, you can sing to our hymns and read along if there are any readings. Those of you who are attending in person are invited to join us in the parish hall afterwards for coffee hour, and there'll be weekly gatherings that take place at 12:30, the spiritual growth circle back there in the library. Don't forget the women's group meets by Zoom on Wednesday at 7:30. Kathy Santo is here in the back. If you want to know more about her, get to see her. And for those of you who are joining online, special greetings to you. We are hopeful that you will take a minute and greet each other in the chat box. And after service, there'll be a virtual coffee hour, and you can talk amongst yourselves and say hi to us who are here in person. A gentle reminder, if you have a cell phone, take it out, put it on silent, and now let us prepare for this morning's service. This morning, it is my pleasure to welcome my neighbors, Agustin Torres and Alice to our service. They founded and directed an organization for underserved youth and children in Colombia, South America, for 20 years, at the height of the narco guerilla wars that tore the country apart. Augustin's original songs became their most powerful therapeutic tools. After being introduced to the extraordinary qualities of instruments such as the Tibetan bowls, gongs, and chimes, they began to use sound to promote wellness and inner harmony. They are delighted to share their music and their sound journey with us, and we are honored to have them with us this morning. So now, I invite you to join me in lighting our chalice. You can find the affirmation in our order of service. We light this chalice in the search for truth and the spirit of love. We unite in worship and fellowship. As an extension of lighting our chalice, I want to take a moment of silence to light these candles for some of the names of those who have recently been affected by police brutality just in the last few days. We cannot cover all the names of those affected. We light a candle for the life of William Tisdall, for the life of Adrian Arrington, and for the life of Timothy McCree Johnson. May these lights be a symbol of our commitment to continue the work of racial justice and to proclaim Black Lives Matter. So now, thank you. So now please join us in singing hymn 298, that's in your gray hymnal, Wake Now My Senses. Please stand and join. So now is the time in our service for joys and sorrows. If you are visiting us for the first time, or you're coming back and you want to say hello again, now is the time to introduce yourself. For those who are gathering in person, you will raise your hand and I'll come around and you can share your joy and sorrow. If you are joining us online, we invite you to type into the chat your joys and sorrows, and Ben will read them aloud. We invite you to share what is in your heart. Hi. Don't everybody raise their hand all at once now.
Thanks. I have a little bit of a sorrow. The closing hymn today is the most complicated roadmap of any hymn in either of the hymnals. Could you please turn with me for just a sec to page 1074 in the teal hymnal? Very last hymn in the teal hymnal. I don't want you to get lost. All righty, the first page of 1074 we sing 3 times. Check. Second page we only sing once. Third page and the top line of the fourth page we sing twice. The first time it's going to be slow, like, oh, sorry, do you know? Second time you go fast. So do that twice. The last part of the fourth page is 1 time only. Fifth page is the second and third lines are 3 times again. Then the last page is twice.
You will be greeted.
Okay, everybody remember that. Oh, here.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Vivian, and people may be aware that our church is working with a group called AHRC, which I'm not sure that the letters stand for. All hail really cool people, something like that. Anyway, so through this program, we have someone working at the church. His name is Peter, and I had the pleasure of meeting Peter on Friday, taking photographs and a little short video for our social media. And I also worked with AHRC to coordinate this so that they'll also post it on their social media. But it was a pleasure. He was cleaning up, he was moving things, he was taking care of leaves, clogging the drains. It was great. So I just wanted to share the pleasure of meeting Peter. And he works with someone named Michael, who supervises and helps him in any way, that he needs it.
Thank you, Viv.
Hi, I'm Tom, and I wanted to make people aware that Bruce Gillum is still in New Vanderbilt. I saw him yesterday. He's doing well, but he'd appreciate visitors or cards. So keep him in your thoughts. He's a longtime member and a longtime inhabitant of this planet.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for visiting, Bruce.
Hi, my name is Kathy. I have some sad news. For people who have been at the church for a while, you may remember Jill Avedon. Jill passed away this week. She had COVID, and from what I understand, she had trouble taking the Paxlovid and choked, and then died. So her daughter Nicole came to our RE program for several years, and she recently got married in 2019 here at the church, and Reverend DeTarbert and we officiated. So I don't have any details yet, but maybe Claudette does. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, Jill is a good friend of mine. Unfortunately, her daughter just had a very serious surgery right before this happened. So I'm assisting with all the arrangements. We are working with Ben to do a memorial service here in the coming weeks. Thank you.
A memorial service for Jill. Thanks, Claudette. Any other hands?
I'm Randy, and my brother, who grew up in this church as well, is having his birthday this Saturday, 75th birthday.
Thanks, Randy. Did I get everybody? Okay. How about Ben? Okay, we're good. So thank you. We're grateful for you sharing all your joys and the sad sorrows we have heard. And for all those who have all those sorrows and joys that have gone unspoken. May the attention and care we give each other and those beyond this space remind us that we are not alone. Now it's time in our service that we pause for meditation. I'm going to start off with a quote for us to get started, and then we'll ring a bell. And then after a few minutes, I'll ring the bell again so we can end our time. Today's quote is from Do-hyun Cho, and it is as follows. Stillness is what creates love. Movement is what creates life. To be still, yet still moving, that is everything. Thank you. Now is the time in our order of service where we take an offering. We know it is the gift of all of us that helps support our ability to thrive and gather. For those attending in person, we invite you to drop your offering into the collection plate that Randy and Kathy are passing around. For those online, Ben is going to post some links and instructions in the chat. You can mail a check, donate through PayPal giving page on our website. Please give generously as you can. Our offerings will be gratefully received. And while that's going on, I'd like to introduce you to Agustin Torres. He is going to talk a little bit about his experience in Colombia and the song that he wrote. I can call you back? Okay. Thanks, Agustin. And we're going to do some bilingual translation here. Alice, his wife, is coming up to do translation for him.
Hello, good morning. I don't speak very fluent English, but I try. My wife, the other part. No? Okay, I am from Argentina, born in Argentina, and passed many things in my life. You know, coming from the 60s, you know, drugs, hospitalization, everything. No, everything. And the positive side of this is I feel a call to help young people after this. I understand the society and generally, no attend
doesn't take care of
the real problems of the society, no? Attend superficially things, easy things, but the deep thing, no. And I feel this calling and I start to work. I have one experience with God when I had 22 years. I coming from Catholic Church, but in my time hippie, I looking for other alternative, Buddha, Guru Maharaji, all these things. No sé si saben que en Argentina hay mucha carne.
In Argentina, they eat a lot of meat.
Y fui vegetariano por un tiempo.
I was a vegetarian for just a little while. It didn't work.
No me fue muy bien. Ok. Y en ese cambio de vida,
At that change that I experienced,
que sentí que había mucha gente joven
I
sola
there were a lot of lonely young people
y que no encontraban respuestas.
who weren't finding the answers.
Sentí que se podía hacer algo.
So I decided
Era músico, vengo de una
there was
familia de
something
músicos,
I should do something about it.
judíos italianos.
And I came from a family of Jewish Italian musicians.
En mi casa todos los fines, mi abuela vivía con nosotros y todos los fines de semana había música.
My grandmother lived with us, and every weekend there would be music.
Y la herramienta que yo tenía era la música,
And so my tool was music.
¿no? Y veía que, tú sabes, todos reaccionamos a eso.
And everybody reacts to music.
Para no hacerlo largo,
Not to make it so long,
comencé una vida de servicio
I began to start a life of service.
y en mis plegarias
And in my prayers,
estaba buscando una esposa
I was looking for a wife,
bilingüe,
bilingual wife.
y el buen Señor me dio a Alice.
He didn't know what he was getting himself into, but
Nos conocimos en Argentina
anyway,
y empezamos a hacer un trabajo, lo que podemos llamar un evangelio social.
so we started working like a social evangelism.
Y haciendo nuestras presentaciones musicales,
And with our music,
nos dimos cuenta que la música realmente tenía un poder muy fuerte.
we saw that music was very powerful.
Cuando hacíamos presentaciones nos concentrábamos en ciertas personas
When we would do a performance, we would
y
concentrate
poníamos nuestra
in certain
intención
people,
sobre
and
ellos
we would send our intention out to certain people,
y veíamos que las personas salían cambiadas.
and we saw them transform and leave changed.
Después supimos que existía algo llamado musicoterapia
Then we found out there was something called music therapy,
y empezamos a estudiar y
and
todo.
we started to study about it.
Al tiempo fuimos a Colombia,
And at that time, we went to Colombia,
donde nos encontramos en un país donde había unas realidades muy fuertes
there was a very radical reality there at that time.
y que no bastaba con solamente hablar de Dios, pero te tenías que poner el overol y hacer algo.
And it wasn't just about talking to people about God, but you had to, get in there and do the work.
Y iniciamos una fundación
So we started a foundation,
y siempre con la música como el pilar.
and the music was the pillar.
Y pudimos trabajar, como decía Sally, con pandillas, con
And we worked
exguerrilleros,
with gangs and with ex-guerrillas,
personas que era muy difícil llegar hablando.
with people that it was very difficult to reach just talking.
Pero con la música podíamos llegar a
But with
ellos
music, we could get through,
y sentir el espíritu de amor
and we could, so that they could feel the spirit of love
y hablando de Dios sin hablar de Dios,
and talk about God without talking about God at all.
que esa es una de mis más profundas creencias,
That's one of my biggest beliefs.
que no se necesita nombrar a Dios a cada rato
You
para
don't have to
poder
be talking
transmitir
about
esa
God all the time
energía.
to be sharing energy.
Y bueno, muchas vidas fueron tocadas,
Many lives were touched,
una experiencia nos transformó a
and
nosotros
it
por
transformed
completo.
us completely.
Para que tengan una idea, es un país donde te pueden matar por $2
In that country, they can kill you just for $2,
y ver estos adolescentes de pandillas cambiar
and
completamente,
see the kids that were in gangs just transform
iniciar una nueva vida
and start a new life.
Es algo maravilloso.
It was
¿no?
marvelous.
Okay. Y hoy quería compartir con ustedes
So I wanted to share with you
una canción que escribí
a song that I wrote.
que se llama, que la tienen en su mano, La oscuridad se fue.
I think you have the words. It's called The Darkness is Gone.
Dice que, solo quiero decir esto, que dice, vengo de un país de maravillas,
It says there, I come from a land of wonders,
pero no estoy hablando de Argentina.
but I'm not talking about Argentina.
Estoy hablando de ese lugar maravilloso
I'm talking about that wonderful, marvelous place
que los seres humanos imaginamos de diferentes formas,
that we all imagine in different ways,
las diferentes culturas, las diferentes
different
religiones,
cultures, different beliefs.
pero algo de verdad debe haber.
But there must be something true about it because, yeah.
Eso es lo interesante, ¿no? Vengo de una tierra muy lejana que también está cercana, pues vive en mi interior. Vengo de un país de maravillas, donde sopla una brisa que te hace sonreír. Cada día cuando me despierto, me pregunto si esto es cierto, pues me siento estallar. Cada día cuando amanece, me invade un sentimiento que me provoca amar. Ahora canto y ya no me contengo, porque el sol que llevo dentro a otros quiere alumbrar. Estoy en esta vida de visita, porque mi filosofía es que hay algo más allá. Cada día cuando me despierto, me pregunto si esto es cierto, pues me siento estallar. Cada día cuando amanece, me invade un sentimiento que me provoca amar. La oscuridad, la oscuridad, la oscuridad se fue, se fue, se fue, se fue. Cada día cuando me despierto, me pregunto si esto es cierto, pues me siento estallar. Cada día cuando amanece, me invade un sentimiento que me provoca amar. La oscuridad, la oscuridad, la oscuridad se fue, se fue, se fue, se fue. Se fue la oscuridad, se fue la oscuridad, se fue la oscuridad, se fue la oscuridad, se fue, se fue, se fue, se fue. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce Alice. She's going to give us a presentation about her work and Agustin's work.
Well, after doing music for so many years, I came to New York and I discovered someone who spoke to me about sound. And well, sound came before music, and we are expert as human beings of taking like the raw material of nature and making it into something. So music is actually a product of the sound that's in nature. So if you go back to the original sound before music, the wind and the ocean and the raindrops and the animals howling, then we find a whole world of vibration. And when we come back in touch with that vibration, we resonate with it, we recognize it. So sound has been a therapeutic tool over centuries and millenniums in many cultures around the world. And healers knew about the power of sound before we had technology to be able to prove it. Now we can hook people's brains up to machines while they're listening to the sounds and see how the brain reacts. And with these instruments that are, some of them are from Tibet or from India, and the gong has been around ever since. These were therapeutic tools, and now they still are, even more so because now we have science to prove that they work. So I'm gonna just do a very short little sound bath for you. This would usually take, if you really wanna do a full sound bath, it would be like maybe 45 minutes or an hour, where you can just kind of forget about everything and bathe in the sounds. And I'm going to do a little example of the different instruments. And if you just close your eyes and listen to the vibration, if you could see the vibrations going out into the air, you'd be absolutely awestruck. If I put water, for example, in one of those bowls and played it, the water looks like it's bubbling when you play it because the vibrations are so strong, and we are 75% or more water. So when the vibrations hit us, they gently move and shake things. It's very real, it's very scientific, and it also is very spiritual because you can relax and then all of a sudden you'll feel yourself just kind of, maybe you might check out for a little minute. So I'm just going to give you a little taste of the different instruments. That one's the most powerful, of course, the gong. That is the most powerful. The gong is the most powerful instrument that exists outside of the human voice, as far as resonance. So I thought that was interesting. Anyway, I'll stop talking now.
Thank you so much, Alice and Augustine. I think the sound is still in the air. So please join us in singing hymn 1074, Turn the World, in your teal hymnal. I don't know if we're going to be able to remember all those instructions, but here we go. So Kevin, what grade do we get on that? Yay. I invite you to join me now in extinguishing our chalice, and you can find that affirmation in our order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. For these we carry in our hearts until we are together again. So closing words. I am closing the service with a poem by a Colombian poet, and the name of the poem is Last Word. It is by Julia Mora, who's a journalist and a writer who was born in Bogota in 1992, and it was translated by Nicolas Barbosa Lopez. I had never felt this much noise as I did before you said the last word. Since then, I notice the sound of fire before it lights, the hasty flesh about to hit the water, a palm approaching my cheek. Though they say that lightning is faster than thunder, since it happened, I can feel the noise first. Now everything is scandalous. A ladder sliding on the edge, a plate spinning in the air, the shoe willing to step on dry leaves. For instance, yesterday, everything came before the crystal burst, before the bullet hit. A look at the black cloud gushed the pouring rain. The roar of what I never told you shone along the snap of a soon-to-be kiss. I had never felt this much noise inside as when I sensed your last word. Thank you, Carolyn. So everyone, please join us for hospitality through these doors. Thank you so much.